This video is from that series, A Day in the Life of a Service Technician, maybe a radio guy, maybe an installer, or maybe a psychic. I don't know. It's one of those days when the job is nice, a little bit of physical, a little bit of brain work, a little bit of here, driving there, being in the office, being in some dusty area. So I'm going to show you what I did today. I replaced an old repeater, a radio repeater, and I'll show you what's here. Of course, someone had to lift this battery all the way here, which was me a year and a half ago, with a battery charger. Can be used as a power supply for the radio. And today I installed a Motorola repeater, which it's upside down. I just noticed. I had only 4 hours something of sleep last night. I had a sewer backup in the kitchen and some wiring. I had to tune this duplexer. For a small shopping area, that's sufficient. We don't need big cans and fancy filtering. We use those at larger sites, but for this one, it's okay. So used to be with an older version of this type of the Sinclair duplexer. The application is mostly for mobile application, but this is just enough. It's doing a good job, and it did it for at least 16 years with this type of setup, but it was a Camwood, very old repeater. Tested the power, the backup battery works fine. The battery is not very old. A little bit of grounding here. Battery backup power cables, like those can hold 20 amps, fuses in the circuit. So it's a dusty place and no fancy here. I installed the repeater on the old plate to keep it a little bit higher from the dust around here, because the repeater turns on the fans while transmitting. And while I'm back here, so I just installed it like a half an hour ago, but I'm back to do some reprogramming because the customer, actually the security guard, said he noticed the he noticed the scratch tail on the analog channel. So this is a analog and digital repeater. I also added a digital channel into it because we think that they are going to migrate to the digital. Okay, so I have the flash on, how to get rid of it. So we think that they are going to migrate sometime later. Right now they do some construction around the area, so they might get some money. So I'm not going to record with the screen right perpendicular on the camera, but I'll keep it aside because I don't know how to disable the flash on the phone. So this is the Motorola programming software, the CPS, and I'll show you where you reduce or increase that hang time, call hang time. That's for analog channel, and when you have the digital channel you have about 3 seconds here. Also, if you don't know how to change these numbers or what the fields mean here, you select a field. Let's say I select this call hang time in seconds, and I press help. This is an interactive help that takes you to that topic. So let's see what the help file tells me. Call hang time in seconds. Okay, set the duration. The repeater will reserve the channel for after the end of an analog call transmission. So that's for analog channel. During this time, only member of the call that channel is reserved for can transmit. This produces a smoother conversation, as this hang time is shared among all types of analog calls, group, private, emergency, etc. The duration should be set following the call type that needs the longest hang time. So this is a group call, maximum minimum increment of 1 second, so maximum 7 seconds. The default is 3 seconds. So I'll set it to 0. I'll update the repeater code plug, and I'll make a phone call to the security guard who complained about this. Not complained, but he noted the this squelch tail. He didn't know what's the meaning. And the repeater connects to the computer through a USB cable, like a regular printer cable works fine. So what are the general settings I have here? For the analog channel, I have 13 watts out. Then after the duplexer, I might get about 10 watts. So it's 1.8 dB loss. It's not a very performant duplexer, but since they don't use this one very often, that duplexer doesn't heat up, that loss in the duplexer does not cause any damage. So we installed those very often, and I never had one coming back because of the power that's being dissipated inside of the duplexer, or the cables, the connectors, anything like that. And digital band low power here, actually band 1 is this low power, and high power is maximum full power is 55 watts. So we installed this type of repeater for one of the system. It was a DAS, or distributed antenna system, and we set it at the maximum full power, and I was getting 48 watts out of a large duplexer, like a number of cavities or cans, how they call it. And so we got like a 49 watts out or something like that, and it was feeding a large shopping area, a bunch of antennas we installed, and splitters and all that, or tappers. What else you get here? So you have these tabs. So general, you have battery. So I enable the battery input. DC operation only, so this is not the case. DC primary source, so I could use that one, the power charger, as a DC primary source. And if this one is charging the battery, but in that case I don't need the battery charger in the circuit. So I installed also repeaters, the older model of Motorola 8300 Turbo with a battery charging feature, and some alarms. So I did set some major alarms here. AC power, I set it as informational, so it just shows a red or amber light on the little display over there. Okay, caller ID, voting system is not the case. What else? Security, I set some passwords and all that. Also, under the security, let me show you under the security what was there. You can set privacy. and authentication. My English is not good at all today because, like I said, I had only 4 hours something of sleep. So RAS key prevents unauthorized access. The transformer is messing up with my brain. Yes, the transformer is messing up. I can't take fan noise, and transformer noise is like super annoying and super tiring for my little brain. Network, so we can connect this one to an IP network and all that. So with IP site connect as well. We don't need that. So no sites here, talk groups. No, this is very simple in analog mode. So in here you set the frequency. I can talk about programming this one in details, like getting you through the field, but maybe a different video. Now I'm doing some basic stuff. So I set the analog channel. So in order to, you can move this one. Oopsie, my phone battery is low. Okay, nice. You can set this one. You can set it to be the second one. So you can move it up, down. Then you can edit it. So you put the cursor here, you edit this analog channel frequencies and the tones and all those. And general settings. This is the name of the channel, which doesn't really matter. It's just for the guy who is programming the radio. Bandwidth, it's a wide band. This one they have licensed a long time ago. And Scotch normal or tight, DM phases and pre, so those will leave it this way, and we'll leave on compending mode, then the frequencies and the tone and the power level. So that's very basic stuff like you find in a portable radio, CP200 analog radios. This very similar screen here, and I'm going to write back into this one, but before doing that I need to go back to where it says validation results. So right here you will see some number of errors and asterisks and all that. Those are warning messages that prevent you from updating the radio without correcting those. So HT750 analog radio also in a software has very similar field where you have to make the changes before you are allowed to write back on the radio. And this one is about RAS key, the security feature that in this case I enable. I can disable, but I enable, so nobody can get into the radio system while on digital mode. So since this one has a digital channel, I need to set the RAS key. Some people don't set it. We have sites we never set the RAS key on it, but this is a security contractor and I like to have a little bit of security on their radio communication. So I'll let you go. This is Motorola MotoTrbo CPS, and it's a bit of a newer screen. They have older versions that look a little bit different. The buttons are different, and that's the Motorola repeater. So letting you go, and I hope you saw something new to you. That's why you had the patience to watch till the end, and thank you for your time here on my channel. Take care, bye bye.